Hi, we're Walter and Zoniel.
Hi.
We're artists and we're working on a project called A Simple Act of Wonder, which was commissioned by Brighton Festival and Fabrica Art Gallery. We've been working on it since January now. It's at its heart, it's about storytelling and connectivity. We are literally connecting two places, a suburb of Brighton, Moulsecoomb and Bevendine, and the city centre itself, Fabrica Art Gallery.
Yeah. So Fabrica Gallery is housed in an old church that was built in 1817 as a chapel of ease. And in the 90s it became Fabrica Gallery, which is a contemporary gallery, and since then it's commissioned many artists to make artworks often responding to the space. And so as the part of the A Simple Act of Wonder commission that was going to be housed in Fabrica, then we also were looking to kind of respond to the space and what inspired us literally and conceptually. So the first thing conceptually that inspired us was this connectivity through it being a chapel of ease, which was something I'd never heard of. You'd never heard of it before this. So chapel of ease is a church that's built for people that have difficulty accessing a church, so they're further away from wherever their local church is. And we thought, well, this really kind of sings to how we feel about public art. So we're firm believers that art is for everybody and should be accessible to everybody. And so we kind of thought, well, public art is sort of like art of ease in a way. It's something that is put in a space for people who are not having the same access to art, whether that's because they don't want to enter art galleries or whether that's because they're far away from art galleries.
Yeah, so the flip side of this is that we're basically taking taking houses that are exhibits on a large scale in Moulsecoomb and Bevendine. We've gone and met residents and taken very personal objects and then elevated these objects by exhibiting them in Fabrica Art Gallery. The physical space of Fabrica Art Gallery still has a chancel, an altar.
It's very churchy.
It's very churchy, architecturally speaking. So we have interrupted the space by using multicoloured films which intersect and create a homage to kind of stained glass windows, but also helping us divide and create a physical form.
Physical form that interrupt the way that you move through the space as
exactly.
well. And then journeys.
Yeah, so we're creating basically journeys within the space that you can or can't follow, using these multicoloured carpets.
And portraits as well.
Portraits.
So we thought this would be a good chance to kind of explore a new manner of making portraits for us. So we were creating portraits that exhibit a story from this point in time, but equally could be from any point in time. That maybe sounds a bit vague, but we'll explain the portraiture process in another film. So that's how we were kind of responding to the physical space. It's a very physical, very immersive installation.
Yeah.
It's meant to...
Very big, tactile, tangible.
Yeah, making you want to touch it and making you want to look at it through different angles, different lights. Yeah. It had 360 immersive films that will take you into the homes of residents.
Yeah, so you can actually be physically in
in somebody's house.
Or outside space and looking at these painted buildings. Yeah,
to see that. So we were really kind of playing with sort of visceral sense and taking objects that kind of would relate to that space. And on top of that, we were asking people to remove their shoes to enter the space. This is a kind of process that we do when we do the AE art meditations, because that in itself, that simple act of taking your shoes off, I think, in an art gallery really changes the way that you're relating to a space. And then you're walking on all these carpets, which kind of sort of colourful and plush. Anyway, so now, since the pandemic and lockdown,
nobody will experience it physically.
No, all of that has to be made virtual.
Yeah, adds another level of surreality to it.
It's definitely very surreal. So Walter and I will be installing that, the two of us, in kind of safe space and creating. So it gives us this opportunity to kind of like really evolve this work in that context, but also creating a virtual version of this is the challenge that we're facing at the moment, and that in itself is kind of like creating a whole other piece of art, isn't it? Would you say?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and then correct, and then at the end we will be dismantling and taking apart all the multicoloured film, which is very 3D sculptural form, and we'll be compressing it and compacting it into its own sculpture, so that it will be remnant a piece that only ever existed in time and space in that moment. And now
kind of like a relic. So
Yeah.
we thought this is a nice idea, because when you're making an installation that's immersive and that is kind of ephemeral, that we really wanted to make this kind of end result that was a physical relic effectively of that, or echo of it. Okay, so next time we're going to talk about what we're doing literally physically in Moulscombe and Bevendine, and
we might even be outside.
might be outside. So exciting. Okay.
Bye.
Take care.